Hello students, today we will discuss the second part of the chapter, the physical quantity and measurement. We have already discussed a few parts of this chapter. First of all, I'm just telling you the main thing of this chapter, that is the physical quantities. What is actually the physical quantity? Physical quantity is what? It depends on two such factors. One is actually the magnitude, and second one is the measurement, that the unit. Okay, so magnitude and unit, with the combination of these two terms, you can easily able to calculate any type of physical quantity present in nature. Magnitude means the measurement, mathematical digit you can tell, and the unit is what? Unit means with what type of unit you are using. Suppose you are calculating the mass of a body 10 kilograms, so kilogram unit you have used. Suppose you have calculated the mass of the body is 10 gram, then gram unit is just you have used here. So these type of terms we have already discussed. Now while we are just discussing the mass of a body, okay, so mass, actually definition of mass, you know that one: amount of physical quantity present on the body, that means how much material present on the body is called the mass of that one. But that is not quite enough. Okay, we have to calculate the amount of physical quantity present on the body, on that particular body. So while you are taking this type of measurement in your consideration, then definitely you have to just keep some particular system in your mind. So first of all, while you are just taking the beam balance, which we have already discussed, or the physical balance, we know that one, that mass can be calculated easily with the help of this beam balance or physical balance. But this is not actually the perfect measurement. You can't tell that one, because while you are going to calculate the fractional mass, suppose the mass of a body is equal to 0.005 gram. Okay, then that exact value will not be attainable, will not be gettable from this particular balance, that means from beam balance. So we need to have some different type of device which will give you the perfect measurement of these particular term of these mass. Okay, so that type of balance is known as the electronic balance, or you can also tell that one, that balance which is just depending on the electronic digits. That means, suppose you have maybe seen that one nowadays in the shop, maybe in different shops you can get this type of balance to calculate the mass of the body, to get a perfect measurement. You have just seen maybe that one place is there where the mass will be kept, and one meter is also there, the digital meter, where you will get the actual the value of this mass from there. So it will give you the perfect measurement of that one. In case of this particular type of electronic balance, actually for your kind information, in the higher classes you will read this type of electronic balance, or this type of balance will not give you the mass of the body. But in your 6th standard, that is enough, that you will just read that for accurate measurement of mass, this type of balance is very much useful. But it is actually used to calculate the weight of a body, and there is some difference also present between mass and the weight. Okay, mass and weight are not the same type of term. Mass is a constant quantity. You won't be able to just get that mass value is equal to 0, but the weight value can be 0. Okay, so these all thing you will read in the higher classes, but here you just keep this one in your mind, that electronic balance is used to measure the accurate or the perfect measurement for the masses. So while you are using this type of electronic balance, you have to keep some precautions. Okay, you have to just keep some actually, to get the accurate value, you have to be very much careful about that one while you will calculate. So what are the things? First of all, according to your book, few points are already given here, so I'm just discussing one by one these all points. So first is given that make sure the balance is level and on the stable surface. So definitely while you will place this type of electronic balance, you have to be careful on that one, that this is in a plane surface. Suppose it is not in a plane surface, then definitely perfect measurement of this mass you won't be able to get. So it should be placed in a plane surface. In a rough surface will not be used here. So plane surface, you have to keep this one in plane surface. Second point is that make sure the range of the balance is appropriate from the mass being measured. Okay, the range means what? The range, what type of range you are using here. So suppose you are calculating the mass from 10 kilogram to 20 kilogram. So range is how much? 10. Suppose you are calculating the range of that one, you are calculating the mass from 10 to 100 kilograms. So definitely in this particular case 100 range should be attainable. So this type, is it able to give you that range masses, this particular balance? So that should be kept in your mind. Next one is that make sure the balance reads to the correct decimal places. Definitely this is, I told that one before, that it should be very much accurate, okay? Because while you are calculating, suppose the mass of a body is equal to 0.1 gram. So suppose you are placing the body on the beam, on that, but this electronic balance, and this digital meter will not giving you any type of measurement, any type of value, suppose it is not giving you. That means what? This balance will not be able to measure the mass of 0.1 gram. So these particular decimal fraction should be attainable by this electronic balance, otherwise you won't be able to use that one. If you use, then you won't be able to get the measurement, the perfect value of that one. Next one, make sure the pen is free of particles and or substances, as this could affect the result. So definitely here, while you are just suppose you are calculating, you have taken one piece of stone or piece of anything, just you are putting the that particular stone or something on that electronic balance, and maybe from some time you have already kept some other thing also on that particular pen. So you are getting actually the two things on the pen, not only a single thing. So it will give you the measurement of the two combination masses, okay na? So you have to just sweep out all the thing which are present on the pen, then you have to put the thing which you want to actually measure, then you are able to get the perfect measurement, otherwise not possible. Next one, carefully transfer the substance from the stock container to the wetting vessel. Add the substance in the small increment until the desired mass is present in the wet vessel. Okay, so if you are taking, suppose you are few amount of rice, you are just maybe, or suppose few amount of oil you are going to measure, okay, then you won't be able to put the oil on that one, no. So you have to take a container on that one, then you have to put the oil on that container. So you have to just first measure the mass of the container, then you have to just add that one, that oil or some any liquid, suppose you are placing on that one, then the combination mass you will get on that. Next one, discard any substance still present on the stop or spatula. With the help of spatula you can easily just separate this any substance maybe is present on that one, then the next measurement will be possible. Okay, so this type of things are actually the main thing to calculate the appropriate mass of a body with the help of a electronic balance. Next term is that in your syllabus, that is the time. Okay, so time is also a physical quantity. Definitely unit is also there and magnitude is also there. So definitely it's a physical quantity. Suppose you are just telling that suppose any event happened, okay, with a duration of time 1 hour, okay, anything happened which takes time 1 hour, one perfect hour. So here in this case, are you getting the magnitude or are you getting the unit both? Definitely you are getting both these two things. 1 hour while you are discussing, one is what? One is the magnitude of that one, and hour is what? Hour is the unit of that one. So unit and magnitude both are there. So definitely it's a physical quantity. Now question is that how to measure that one, or what is the definition of time? Time is what? Time is as actually the separation between any two events. Suppose one event happened here in this place, another event happened here in this place. So within these two events, how much gap is there? So that is actually the time. So that is the definition is also written here. Time is defined as the gap between the two events, any two events. Okay, suppose one bomb is blasted here, okay, and another bomb after 1 hour is also blasted another in other places. Okay, so what is the gap between these two blasts? Definitely 1 hour. So that is actually the time. Now here most important question is that periodic. Suppose periodic event. What is periodic event? That question will come in the exam, that what is periodic event? Give any one example of that one. So periodic event, suppose you are just using, periodic means what? Suppose anything is repeating just continuously. Okay, so one event is continuously happening after and after within a fixed interval of time, that is called the periodic event. Suppose you are just using the example of the rotation of earth. Okay, so while full rotation, suppose if you calculate, of earth around its own axis, then it will definitely take how much time? 24-hour time. Suppose you are taking the example of the clock, any clock, wall clock or the wristwatch or stopwatch, what type of thing you are using, anything. So in this case, suppose now time is 7 o'clock morning. If you just go to the 7 o'clock at night, okay, and then again you come back to the 7 o'clock morning, if you just notice this time interval, this time gap, so definitely you can see there is a exact value. Okay, 7 to 7, 7 morning to 7 night, 7 9 to 7 morning, exact gap is there. Okay, exact value is there. You can't tell that from 7 morning to 7 night and from 7 night to 7 morning different values are there, gap is different there, definitely not. So in this case, this type of events are called the periodic type of event here. Next thing I will tell you here, the stopwatch. Okay, stopwatch is what? Suppose you are taking one example. Suppose you are just attending in your sports day event here in your school. 100-meter race is happening there. Okay, 100-meter race is happening there. So suppose one runner starts from initial position and he is going just running from there and he just completed the race. Within how much time he has completed the race? How can you calculate? Definitely with the help of clock. What type of clock you will use? Suppose if you see your wristwatch like this, then you won't be able to tell the actual value. So one type of watch should be there, which will give you the exact value. Suppose you start the event, then you just, when that person completed the race at that particular instant of time, if you stop that stopwatch, then you will able to calculate the perfect measurement. So this type of measurements can be gettable with the help of stopwatch. It is a one type of watch. Whenever you want to stop that one, you can stop it. Whenever you want to start that one, you can also start that one. Okay, so this type of stopwatch definitely present in our physics lab. When the school will reopen, that I will definitely show you that what is stopwatch. Okay, so this is the thing. Next important part is the mean solar day. Okay, so mean solar day I will tell you now in pen paper. So the mean solar day, I have already written the definition of that one. Mean solar day is what? That time taken by Earth to complete one rotation on its axis. Earth is here. Okay, this is the own axis through which it rotates. Suppose in this way it is rotating, in this way it is rotating. So one complete rotation means, suppose if you just point this point here A, then from A it starts, and after just completing one rotation, it reaches to the point A again. How much time it will take? 24 hours. We all know that one. Okay, so this 24 hour is actually the mean solar day. Now here the main thing is that, can you able to convert these all the time intervals, 1 hour or 1 minute or 1 second, into the form of that mean solar day? That is very important. Short questions are repeatedly asked in the exam. So definitely one mean solar day, while you are just writing, then you have to write that is equal to 24 hours. Okay, so we also know that. So definitely here 1 hour is equal to how much? Then 1 hour is equal to, we know that 60 minutes. That is equal to how much? 1/24 part of a mean solar day. Okay, so that question is asked in the exam so many times, that 1 hour is equal to how much mean solar day. So 1 hour is equal to 1/24 part of one mean solar day. Okay, next one is 1 minute. 1 minute is equal to how much? 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. We know that one. That is equal to 1/1440th part of a mean solar day. of a mean solar day. So this is also very important, 1 mark question, so many time asked in the exam, that 1 minute is equal to how much part of the mean solar day. So this is okay. Next one, 1 second. 1 second is equal to, directly you can write down 86,400 here, part of mean solar day. So this is the three things, these are the three things can be asked in the exam. Few things are also here, that 1 day equal to how much hour, we all know that 24 hour. 1 year is equal to how much days, 365 days, we all know that. Here the questions, here 1 decade, okay, 1 decade is equal to 10 years. This question is also very important. Next one, 1 century is equal to how much, 100 years or 10 decades. Okay, next one, last one here, that is 1 millennium. 1 millennium is equal to 1000 years or 10 centuries. Okay, so these are very important thing. So many times this question asked in the exam. Okay, in the next video I will tell you the 3 things are left here. That is the 24 hour to 12 hour format, that one that I will tell you, it will take few time. And next one is the temperature, and last part of that one, the calculation of area with the help of the graph paper. So you just first read these all things which I told today. Okay, thank you.